Hey everybody, welcome back to Veteranbassin, and today we're going to talk about my top baits that I like to use in the month of May. Let's get to it. So May, one of the cool things about this month is that you have bass in all three stages of the spawn. You have some in pre-spawn, still. You have some that are spawning, and you have post-spawn. Now with the post-spawners, you know what I'm saying, there is a thing that after the spawn that bass will go in two directions. Some will go deep, some will stay shallow. We're going to really be focusing more on the shallow, but I might throw a couple of deep baits out there. With that being said, let's get into the baits. Now my first bait that I like to use, as a matter of fact, we're going to start off soft plastic and work our way to the hard baits. So my first bait that I like to use, especially when there is a lot of wood or stumps around and they can be used weightless, is we're going to go with the Google Squad Dart. More specifically in the 5-inch at this time of the year. The reason being is because, you know what I'm saying, the bass are getting ready to start hunting shad. And with the shad profile, and this is more of a smaller of a bait fish profile, it could work. Finn is not chasing the horses. But, you know what I'm saying, with the shad profile, it gives a good easy meal for them to feed up after the spawn. Next, after that, and as you can tell my camera is shaking, we have some, any kind of swim bait. I like to use the Google Squad Saucy Swimmer. With that being said, as you can tell with the wind blowing, I'm pretty sure you can see the trees behind me. This is a good moving bait bite with a flashy swimmer on it. It does mimic a small bait fish. If you can look, I am using the 3.8 size. That is the size you want to go to. You don't really want to go any higher than that. Not really at this time of year, I feel, considering the fact that they're finna get ready to start feeding up, and they're going to be feeding a lot. You know what I'm saying? There is a time and place for, you know what I'm saying, the bigger swim baits, but for me, and I get big bites on them, I like to go with the 3.8. If your pond has a lot of grass, you know, you got the Guggen Dart, or you have the Zoom Super Fluke. I fish that around a lot of stumps, lay down trees, because it's weedless. But there is a time that if your body of water has a lot of grass, you know what I'm saying, vegetation being grown, you know what I'm saying, because it's that time of the year, I like to fish over top of those with a suspended jerkbait. Now, with that being said, this time of year, you actually want to get out there and fish this thing aggressive. Everything that I'm going to be talking about at this time of year, especially as the weather warms up more and more, you want to get more and more aggressive with it. I did a video on jerkbait fishing and the cadence that you should use in a video previously, so you can get that out the way. You know what I'm saying? You can go back and watch that. The next thing is a spinnerbait. Now, spinnerbait is virtually weightless. I've said that in plenty of videos that it is virtually weightless. You can fish this thing anywhere. So if I'm unsure of what the conditions are and what I'm fishing and what's down there, I most time lean towards the spinnerbait because I can fish that through laydowns. I can fish that, you know what I'm saying, on top of grass. I can fish this thing anywhere, and they're gonna let me know kind of what's down there, because these blades, if it's grassy, the blades will get caught up in the grass. If it's a laydown log whatsoever, it will come through it, you know what I'm saying, fairly easy. So that is something that my rod just fell. Fairly something that, you know what I'm saying, you want to get your hands on. Also, along with that, it does mimic a bait fish. It mimics a school of bait fish, you know. Biggest of the time, you know what I'm saying, with the spring weather, like I said, you got a lot of rain, so forth, so on. You kind of want to go with that shad profile. I use more of a white to a white chartreuse. Sometimes, depending on the water clarity, I'll go with the double willow blade, but I'll go more silver instead of gold. But the weather has been real rainy and the bodies of water have been real muddy. and I'm getting bit by horseflies, so don't mind me on that. But the body of waters have been a little bit dingy from the weather, so that's why you see the. Normally I use the Guggen Zinger, but I've been kind of getting on this whole War Eagle thing for a little bit. Now we'll go from mid column now, which we already did mid column, but we will go into the hard baits. So, and like I said, I'm getting bit by horseflies. One of the things that I like to use also, especially on if it's a light breezy day, and without me getting myself hooked, without me hooking myself, is a lipless crankbait. A lipless crankbait, especially if you're not around any wood, lay down trees, or anything like that. A lipless crankbait will work awesome this time of year. More specifically, I like to go with the rattle trap. Gosh, doggone it. Sorry. I like to go with the rattle trap. You know, it's more of a lightweight crankbait. Let me see if I can hold this thing right without getting myself hooked. But with the rattle trap, it's a lightweight crankbait. This time of year, you can catch this thing up in less than a foot of water, and it doesn't sink too fast. Now, the method of retrieval, you want to, like I do, and like I taught with the square bill, you want to use the speed cranking method. You know, where you burn, pause, burn, pause, burn, pause. You want to get that thing moving and very erratic. Rod twitches, that's what you want to do with that bait. The last three baits the last two, I'm sorry, is going to be a square bill. This right here is the Guggen Squad, hold on, what's the name of it again? The Guggen Squad Flat Banger. This is in the Sriracha Craw color, if I remember correctly. I've caught monsters in the spring. I don't know what it is about that red color. Don't get me to lying to you about how good that is or why fish bite it more, but that's just the way that it works. You take this and you fire this up, like I say. And the cool thing about this bait, the Guggens have come up with it. It's kind of hard to see it right now, but it kind of gives you the depth range of that bait. You know, I can fish this anywhere between 3 and 6 foot of water. So, with that being said, Finn, here, go somewhere. I can fish this in 3 to 6 foot of water, and so I can fire this thing up. It deflects off of stumps real good. You can fish this through grass, but as you start to feel the grass tick, you want to pop your rod to get free and keep it pushing. Last but not least, we're going to go with top water. Yes, if you don't have a top water tied on your boat or on a rod in your position right now, you are mistakenly wrong. Now, I haven't done any top water fishing yet this year. I've been mostly working on the moving bites, but bait of choice for those two methods as far as top water go, as it stands right now for this year, which I will get into doing that, is one, you want a popper style. You want a popper. This is the Guggen blooper. And then you have the Pop R. You know what I'm saying? The Guggen popping frog. 50, it's in the 50 frog, but it's also a Guggen popping frog with the eat me. This is for when you need to slow down. Excuse me. This is for when you actually need to slow down, when the bite is tough, those cool early mornings in the spring, for when you need to slow down. You know, top water does work, but you need to slow down. And these flies keep biting me. I shouldn't have did this video outside. I really shouldn't have. You do need to slow down. Catch it up there, you know, 2, 3, 5 feet of water is at the deepest that I will go with a popper. This time of year, you do a slow cadence. You know, bloop. Now, as the water heats up, you can actually walk a popper and get that popper dancing and moving along the water to trigger more bites. But with that being said, hey, we're in the middle, well, we're actually pretty much at about the dead end of spring. June is next month. The spawn shad is coming up. So you guys need to get out there. I need to get my rides so they don't fall because this wind is moving my boat cover, and I don't want them to get messed up, especially with Finn wandering around. But you guys, you have a blessed day, and I'm gonna leave you with some sweet, sweet music that my brother recorded. Well, I recorded him in church doing, but I'm gonna leave you with some sweet, sweet music of the tunes of Sergeant King, and y'all have a blessed day.